Veritas Files here. Been trying to do a video response to New America Now and his other channel, New America Now Extra, regarding his video. I think it's entitled "Rock the Banksters," but I haven't been successful yet. So hopefully this off-the-cuff version will do. Basically, and let me say at the outset, I like the guy, I like his channel, enjoy his videos. But in this video, Rock the Banksters, he identifies banks and the fact that they're in cahoots with our politicians as the primary problem that we face, or at least that's my take on what the video was saying. And that the way to deal with them is to basically rob them of their money so that they can no longer do us harm by taking, our money out of the banks, cashing in our stocks and bonds, getting out of our 401ks and 403bs and whatnot. And I applaud him in his effort to identify one of our problems and come up with a solution. But I really don't think that's the primary problem. I think if we're being honest, if we're looking around and really seeing things for what they are, we would have to admit that the primary problem really has to do with the American people. It's really about our own behavior. It's true that banks and our corrupt politicians are facilitators of our bad behavior, but it's still our behavior, chosen by us. And the reason for it is because we have for so long, for decades now, bought into false ideas and ideologies that have, by default, given us a worldview that dictates bad behavior. What do I mean by that? Well, no one forced you to get a credit card. No one forced you to get a home mortgage. No one forced you to buy a car by way of a loan. No one forced you to get a debit card. No one forced you to not carry cash. No one forced you to not save money. No one forced you to not save in precious metals. No one forced you to do anything. They may have tempted you. They may have facilitated you, so forth and so on, but you still chose the actions in the end. And we have not only done this to ourselves, but we have allowed this to happen to our country. We allowed this country to adopt an unsustainable debt-based growth model that requires exponential growth to get any real growth out of the economy. And when we did that, we quickly followed suit in our own personal lives. And we're constantly chasing enough money to pay off the last interest rate loan that we got. This is the crux of the problem that we have. And inevitably, that kind of situation, that kind of financial circumstance leads to a collapse, and that's what we're going to experience. We're in the midst of it now, but the idea that it has actually begun in earnest is, a little ahead of its time. That won't happen until the money begins to dry up. When investors won't buy bonds anymore, when there's no stimulus money left and everything that depends on it dries up, and inflation begins to set in quickly, that's when it really will have begun. In any case, it's our behavior that needs to be changed, but I find that amongst those who are like-minded, who know what's going on, we are often very divided. We can't control our passions about the issue and focus on any given set of circumstances because we have so many irons in the fire, so many pet projects or pet theories about this or that. Instead of focusing on the main and plain things, the things that we know, the things that we can correct, the things that are very tangible, that are unmistakable in terms of how they would affect positively our circumstance, we focus on a mixture of nonsense and sort of unknowables. Think of the 9/11 conspiracy folks. I don't happen to be one of them, and I'm not going to argue the points. It's sort of irrelevant. It's like arguing with someone who doesn't believe we landed on the moon. Well, yeah, is there circumstantial evidence available for all of that stuff? Certainly. Circumstantial evidence available for almost anything, including probably leprechauns. But the point is, all of these little issues that we really can't do anything about, certainly not now. They serve to distract us from what the real problems are and what real solutions we can actually come up with. So what's a real solution to our current circumstance? Well, one is to put down all of these tangential issues and start dealing with the real issues that have caused this problem, the real things that we have control over. Start using cash. Stop using credit cards. Stop using debit cards. Start saving money. When you need a new car, go ahead and buy one with your savings. What a novel idea. Start saving in precious metals. If you're not doing that already, and you know at all what's going on, you're crazy, or you're bordering on insanity, one of the two. Those simple things, if we did those simple things, get out of debt, don't get back into debt, don't even make debt a possibility in your life, and make that a lifestyle, a way that you live on a consistent basis, our situation will change, and it will change dramatically. Other things that we can do I've discussed before. When you vote, vote your conscience, vote your passion in the primaries. So you want to vote for Chuck Baldwin? Hey, have at it. You want to vote for Ron Paul? Have at it in the primary. When the general election comes, if you are not going to vote for one of the two people that have the possibility of winning, then just, stop wasting our time. Don't tell us that you voted for Chuck Baldwin. You didn't really vote for Chuck Baldwin. All you did was rob a vote from the least worst candidate there, John McCain, and you elected Barack Obama. We can do these things, folks, and it doesn't take anything except our willpower, our common sense, and consistency. We can stop re-electing, except where we're forced to, we can stop re-electing incumbents. We can start electing people that actually respect our founding documents and the heritage of this nation. We could, if we wished, stop sending our kids to public schools where they're not going to get taught about those documents, and they're going to be basically in a history class that accentuates all of America's vices and tells none of her virtues. There's all kinds of solutions to these problems, folks, and they're worldview issues. They have nothing to do with conspiracy. They have nothing to do with a lot of the nonsense that ends up passing for legitimate discussion and debate on YouTube and other places about what the real problems are. And that wasn't New America Now's intention, I'm sure, but it's related, and it's something that drives me crazy sometimes, because there's a lot of smart people in the United States, a lot smarter than me, a lot of them on YouTube, and instead of really focusing their energies on something that can make a difference, they get caught up in nonsense, in Alex Jones type stuff. Not that he's a horrible guy or that his information isn't useful from time to time. It's not my point. I think I've made my point, and I'm just going to leave it there. If you guys have comments or questions, right below. And hopefully I'll be making another video soon. We'll see what happens. Got to have the time, Anyway, take care of yourselves. Thanks.